first year milestone of being a pharmacy technician, and I'm really excited, really proud of that. The funny thing is that I never set out to become a pharmacy technician. It's not something I studied in school. It wasn't something that I had in mind for myself necessarily. I just kind of stumbled upon it while I was looking for work. And sure enough, here I am a year later, and I love it, and I'm filming a video about it. So that is one reason why I wanted to make this video, because when I was looking for work, I didn't know that pharmacy techs existed, and I had never even known that that was a job. I assumed that to work in a pharmacy, you had to have some sort of pharmacy-specific schooling, or there have to be like some other steps. And granted, that might be the case in some other states. I'm in Ohio, so I can only tell my experience, and I'm sure it could be different elsewhere, but I will get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I didn't know that the job existed, and I wish someone would have told me, so I'm telling you. I'm going to be going into what a pharmacy tech is, what they do with their day, if any of that interests you, and just keep watching and we will get into it. So the question of what does a pharmacy tech do has a very long answer to it, and a lot of the time you're doing multiple things at once. As a pharmacy tech in a retail location and in the hospital outpatient pharmacy, I've experienced a lot of overlap in what I was expected to do and what I'm expected to do now. One thing that pharmacy technicians do is process new prescriptions. So you will either get the prescription already sent to you electronically and you can type it up, or sometimes people will still bring in their paper prescriptions that they give you at the doctor's office, and the pharmacy technician will type that information into the computer, get the label ready for the patient for the prescription. You want to make sure that their insurance is current if they have active insurance. Sometimes they have insurance, but they don't have their card on them, so you might have to call the insurance company, or you might have to look it up in other systems. You might have to use their old insurance information and try to update it. There's a lot of different situations that can arise even just at the processing stage. So you'll process the prescription, you'll figure out how many and of what medication and what the day supply is that the doctor wants. There's a lot of detail that goes into that stage. Make sure you select the right drug, make sure it's the right strength, etc. So the prescription will be processed, and the next step after that, once you have a label, you have the prescription, you know what you need, a pharmacy technician will go to the shelf, grab the medication, make sure it's the correct medication, correct strength, make sure you have enough of them, and you will count out the prescription. We count by fives. I'm pretty sure every pharmacy counts by fives, just to make it easier on the little counting trays. It's a whole thing. But you'll count out the prescription, make sure that the right prescription goes in the right bottle with the right label on it. Accuracy is very important when you're a pharmacy tech in every aspect, honestly. Of course people make mistakes, but you really want to avoid those. In my pharmacy now, we process the prescription, fill the prescription, and then the pharmacist checks it. I know in some retail pharmacies, some other hospital outpatient pharmacies, they might do things differently. In my current position, that's the sequence of events. So the pharmacist will check what's in the bottle, check it against the hard copy, hopefully everything's matching up, and then they will deliver to our will call area. One thing that is that I'm experiencing differently is that in a hospital setting, I don't have the cash register experience with the customers. That's not something that I do as a pharmacy technician. Our pharmacy is very lucky, and we have a designated cashier that handles transactions for us. I've also worked in a retail location where we did not have that help, and as a pharmacy tech, one of my other responsibilities was to check out people, manually check out their prescriptions at a register, handle their cash, handle their cards, help them pay, help them find their card, You name it, you know, customer service at the register. That can be another job responsibility of a pharmacy technician as well. My favorite part of being a pharmacy tech is knowing that I am helping someone with something that makes a big difference in their quality of life and in their day. I also really enjoy the teamwork aspect. I definitely would suggest that you take into consideration whether or not you like working on a team or not, because in a pharmacy setting, you absolutely will be working with each other. It is not a competition. You are all in this together. If there's an insurance issue or an issue with the medication, usually multiple hands are involved in fixing it. So you want to make sure that you enjoy working with other people if this is something you're going to pursue. For me, I love being part of a team, so that just works out perfectly. So one thing that's really cool about being a pharmacy tech is that there are a lot of different career avenues that you can take. There's a lot of different places you can apply. I started off at a retail store that has a pharmacy inside of it. And like I mentioned in the beginning, I started with no experience. I was on a job search engine. I found their ad and I applied and I was called for an interview. I might do another video talking about the hiring process because that's kind of lengthy, because it is a medical profession and you have to pass background, drug test, FBI, fingerprints, etc. There's the retail route, you know, Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, retail locations that have pharmacies in them. You also have your standalone pharmacies like CVS, Rite Aid, Drug Mart. I can't speak to their hiring process necessarily, but that's an option. I currently am employed in an outpatient pharmacy at a hospital, and I did have to be a registered pharmacy technician with the state to get that job, so that requirement was different. And in hospitals you also have inpatient pharmacy technicians, which prepare IV bags, prepare medications for people who maybe are in the emergency room or just got out of surgery and they need something now. Those are inpatient pharmacy technicians that do those jobs. So you have a lot of different employment options in this job that I didn't even know existed. So hopefully I've boosted awareness a little bit. Like I said, you don't really have to go to school, at least in my state. You don't have to go to school to become a pharmacy technician to start out. So if it's something that you're interested in, I do recommend checking it out. You can go online, look for openings near you. A lot of retail locations, when they're hiring, they'll have signs at the front doors or at the pharmacy itself. You can always ask them for more information. I have watched a few other videos on YouTube. There aren't that many that I'm aware of people talking about being a pharmacy technician. That's where I got some of my information. Just, ask around. It's actually a pretty common job, so you might know someone who does it, or someone who knows someone who does it. Might be able to get some information that way. Instagram, search that hashtag pharmacy technician. We live in an amazing time, and there's so much information. You know how to find information. You can do it. But yeah, I think that about wraps up this video. I'm thinking of doing a part 2 just to answer any questions you guys might have. So if you have any questions, or if there's something you'd like me to expand on a little more, go ahead and leave those below. As always, like and subscribe. I'm Allie, and it's been a good time. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.